Hi, it's Dr. Maggie Perry with Tell Me What You're Proud Of. And in this episode, I'll be talking to my client Liz for the third time. Liz has listened to my consultation with Dr. Michelle Whitkin, but we also are just going to get started with how Liz has been doing lately. So, Liz, thanks so much for being here. Can you tell me how you're doing?
Hi. Yeah, so I'm on week maybe 4 or 5 of working from home, sheltering in place. And there have been a couple of kind of content areas that have popped up for me. I don't know how well I articulated this last time, but my goal was to notice anything new that started to come up as my routine has had to change, as so many people's have. And yeah, I have noticed a couple of things that I are new for me. One is food. I week before last spent a whole lot of time planning and preparing and thinking about and over planning and preparing and thinking about what we were going to eat and when I was going to go grocery shopping and when. And I think that's something that a lot of people are probably feeling and doing right now. But I also I'm pretty aware that it was too much brain space. It felt compulsive.
That's great.
For that.
Can you tell me where normal planning left off and compulsive planning started?
Yeah, so we always plan like roughly what we're going to eat for the week and who's going to cook when, and then do like one big grocery shop. And then it kind of got triggered by the fact that grocery stores it's kind of scary to leave your house right now. So the routine got thrown off there. We don't want to go grocery shopping on weekends. And then I think from the routine getting thrown off and the fact that there were kind of shortages, we couldn't buy what we normally wanted to, although it's fine now. I started planning out not just dinners, but like breakfasts and lunches. It's not something I've normally had to do when I'm working in the office. And even beyond then, like I would write it down and that didn't help. And that's kind of when I could tell that it was compulsive and it was still kind of running through my head constantly.
That's a great point. So when you made your first list, it didn't give you the feeling of certainty that you'd be able to problem solve effectively. Did you make excessive lists, or how did you cope with the feeling of uncertainty after you had done appropriate problem solving?
Yeah, I did excessive lists and a lot of like reassurance checking, I think, from my boyfriend is what I was looking for, the validation. And that was also another cue for me where I was like, I'm thinking about this too much. And then he had to have like a kind of a, not emergency, but semi-urgent dental procedure, which we were lucky that it still happened. And then we had to change the routine, and then the change of the routine, I could feel that, like, what of my lists that I had spent so long preparing, I could feel that getting really sticky for me. But the good news is I think it worked. I think I noticed the stickiness in this case, and so like week before last, we had like cooked really elaborate meals. Like the food waste was a real issue too, like part of the planning. And like the over responsibility, like I didn't want to be taking food away from somebody who could have been using it better than I was, and that was kind of the content area. So
how'd you cope with that feeling of guilt?
That's where the planning and preparation came in, I think. Like that if I make the perfect list, then we won't have wasted any food. Anyway, we had to throw out the plan. We had to kind of be super flexible because my boyfriend could only eat soft foods for a couple of days. And I think we did it. So I ate for a week just like weird sandwiches and like stuff that I could cobble together. And it was not, following like the Bon Appetit, like meal plan recipe that they have putting out there. Every food blogger is putting out a million plans. So I feel pretty good actually about the food flexibility over the last week.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to carry that into this week with like, I want to plan still, but I also want the flexibility. That's the tightrope that I want to walk.